This is Report to Wyoming.
This show targets real issues in Natrona County where I talk to people about their thoughts and ideas. For this episode, I talked to Miss America Wyoming. Her name is Mackenzie Kern. We get into her social initiative and what she's doing to help support women in business and how she's preparing for the upcoming Miss America pageant. Are you from Casper?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that was going to be my first question, is what part of Wyoming? There's also it's confusing because there's also the Miss USA pageant. So there's a Miss Wyoming.
And I've been both, so it's extra confusing.
Oh.
I've actually been Miss Wyoming Teen USA, Miss Wyoming USA, and now Miss Wyoming. So I've competed at Miss USA. Now I'm competing at Miss America.
That's a lot. Holy moly. So
Yeah.
How did you get involved in all of this, the pageant world?
So when I was 14, when I was little, I was 14 years old, and my sister worked with a woman named Barb at the makeup counter at Macy's, and she loved me, and I loved her. I baked her a cake, and I did all the makeup, fondant stuff on it. And anyway, she was like, you need to do a pageant. And I was like, what's a pageant? And so I was 14. I went and competed at Miss Wyoming Teen USA, and the rest is history.
Nice. And they do the USA pageants here in Casper. They used to. So was that here at NC?
Yes, it was at Natrona County. So we competed at the event center for a while, and then it got moved to Natrona County, and yeah. And then Miss Wyoming for Miss America was in Sheridan.
Oh, cool. When did you compete in that one?
That was in June, this past summer. So recently, kind of.
Nice. Have you already done the Miss USA pageant?
I have. I competed at Miss USA in 2021.
Oh, excuse me. I meant the Miss America pageant.
Yes. So I'm competing at Miss America in January of 2024. So right after the new year.
And so you're very experienced in all of this, but what kind of things are you doing to prepare for nationals?
Right now, I'm focused on just my mentality. I think it's very similar to that of an athlete. You have to focus on your mind, get the prep in, and really walk yourself through the experience before you step into it. That way you can walk in confident, calm, and collected, because it obviously is a high caliber competition.
Right. And is there a talent portion?
There is. So I'm going to be doing a motivational speech. This is something that I've always wanted to do since I was probably around 15 years old. And this is my first knack at it. So we'll see how that goes. But I have been practicing.
How long is your speech?
It is going to be 90 seconds.
You want to give it a... No, I'm just kidding. We won't steal your thunder.
I know. No, I have to keep it under wraps until the competition. But I am excited to share it.
That aspect of language and delivering a speech, it's very exciting. It's so deep, and there's a lot more than just saying a bunch of words, right? It's performative too, and you're picking the right word.
I want to make an impact with my speech. I have a very unique story considering my experience with Miss USA. That was supposed to be what was my childhood dream, and it just turned out a little bit different than I expected, and Miss America is under new ownership, and I love the CEO, Robin Fleming, so I think we're in good hands, and it's going to be a magical experience. It's a new day at Miss America, so they're really encouraging us to embrace that.
Has a Wyoming contestant ever won, to your knowledge?
We have not. We have not won in any of the organizations, actually. So hopefully we can make history. I think that the reason I've always wanted to do it is because it's much less about me and more so about the young girls in our state that it would inspire to know that they can achieve opportunity that exceeds them, you know, something really big.
Even for a smaller state.
Yeah.
And so we have less contestants probably. And then
yes, pageantry in the state of Wyoming is just overall smaller, and in general in Wyoming, if you are chasing a career in the entertainment industry, there's less opportunity. So kind of making your own opportunity. I've been doing it my whole life. I'm an owner of 2 businesses, and I just kind of have created my own little world. So
what from the Miss USA pageant will you take with you in the Miss America pageant? Lessons learned.
I now know how to enforce my boundaries, and I respect myself so much that I will not tolerate any disrespect from anyone else. And I think there is power in owning your voice as a woman, and that is what I want to show others, that you can be nice and you can be kind and you can be powerful, but you can also establish boundaries and hold them.
I like it. Okay. The pageant is a scholarship program, correct?
Yes, it is.
So they're offering scholarships. You said you own 2 businesses. Are you planning to? I think when I looked at the scholarships, this was last week, they were very specific, right, to certain schools.
They were.
So with the age, range of contestants for Miss Wyoming, it's kind of, I would say, it's hit and miss whether someone's actually going to use those scholarships. One's like in Indiana or something.
I know that my teen is planning on using hers in Alabama, so I'm really excited for her. I'm more excited about the business grants and opportunities there just because I already have established businesses. So there's a lot of networking and opportunity within the organization in general. So it's to any woman's benefit to compete.
Right. And there are some awesome prizes like the cash prize, but free, I wrote this one down, a wardrobe allowance, free spray tans. That's, to someone like me, that's really cool. That's really fun.
In girl world, it's amazing just because that is the most glamorous part of it all. You know, you get to do all of those beauty services and all of those fun things that just really enhance how you feel. So it's definitely going to be special to the person that wins.
And I have to say, you're gorgeous. So listeners, you can't see her, but because I don't want you to misinterpret my next question, which is, do you think the beauty standards or the beauty component, I guess, that's kind of always historically been associated with pageants, do you think that that's changing and it being more inclusive with people?
I do. I think we're really taking a step towards more relevancy and more inclusion, which is necessary in any organization to stand the test of time. But I think that the beautiful women that do compete, we are all also so educated, so intelligent, and so successful in our personal lives that we really break down that stereotype of not being intelligent just because you're pretty. We are actively making a difference in our communities and doing so much to evolve as women.
And I think the Miss USA pageant, I'm glad that you can kind of speak to both of them too. Just the whole cultural component around pageants. The Miss USA pageant used to have the swimsuit category, but they've dropped it, I believe.
So actually, Miss USA still has swimsuit. Miss America is now competing in fitness. So I have competed in swimsuit, and I will say I love swimsuit. I always feel very confident. It takes a lot of courage to get on stage in 5-inch heels and strut like, well, everybody is watching.
Right.
So I love that, but I also really love the health and fitness aspect of the Miss America competition, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's a little departure that's more focused on, less, I guess, on aesthetic and more on wellness.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is absolutely that.
But that is definitely a part of that contestant's everyday life and being an advocate for it. In what ways are you advocating for fitness, health, wellness?
So I'm actually actively partnered with the Wyoming American Heart Association. So my dad had what was called the Widowmaker heart attack in 2019. So we had to completely restructure our lifestyle to benefit his health needs. So it's something that I've experienced firsthand, and I've also been very passionate about just eating healthy. I was vegan for like 13 years of my life, I swear, but I think that there is a huge misconception with pageantry that we restrict, and especially with that swimsuit competition, that's why I'm so excited to embrace the fitness component. Taking care of your body is taking care of your well-being and making sure that you're healthy enough to walk through the things that you're trying to chase in life. So, especially with my dad and that experience, just creating those healthy habits. I love to cook. I'm Portuguese, actually, so a lot of those unique recipes, I love bringing them back to life, all of my grandma's recipes, so bringing back the culture into cooking, and my love language is just cooking for the people that I love.
Oh, I love it. Do you have a social initiative I think I'm using the right words.
Yes, I do. Platform, social initiative,
Gotcha.
but mine is Women in Business. And essentially, I just want to lead women to know that they can achieve their unique dreams. I know that we usually are told that we have to follow a certain path or purpose in life, but we truly are given unique dreams because we are meant to embark on that journey and bring them to life. And I want to be a woman that does, so I can also be a woman that encourages. And while it can sometimes be hard, it's so rewarding to see the response of other women that aren't encouraged by me and watching my journey. And it really is for them. That's what leads me.
So let's get into your businesses a little bit.
Yeah.
What are they?
So I have my own boutique, Shop Lovely, and I started that right before the pandemic at 19 years old. And then I recently, in 2022, opened up my own social media agency for other businesses so I could help. I had a lot of success in scaling my online boutique digitally through social media. I turned a $500 investment into 100x revenue in my first year of business as a 19-year-old, which those are baby numbers, but as a 19-year-old, not many.
Pre-pandemic. That's not good timing.
Yeah, but it actually was because online shopping was such a thing during the pandemic. So it ended up working in my favor, and I had so much extra time to devote to it. And I really learned that I have a passion for fashion, which is very... We've heard that before, but I love fashion. And so just exploring that world was really rewarding for me. But helping other businesses do the same ended up being even more of a passion. So I am now doing that, and I have clientele nationwide, and it has been a very rewarding experience.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so do you see yourself sticking around Casper for a while?
I definitely want to explore the world. I am 23, so I want to travel. There is so much opportunity to be found, and I'm so grateful that the state of Wyoming raised me, and I have the character and morals that Wyoming people have, but I'm ready to explore the world for sure.
Where to was your first big destination?
I really want to go to the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. So that is something that I recently decided that I want to do in the next year or so. And I'm also going to Tulum. So some exciting trips coming up. And as Miss America, you go on a world tour. So hopefully that is in my favor.
January. Okay. Well, I'm rooting for you. I think it would be very cool to have some Wyoming representation.
Thank you. I do too.
Have there been Portuguese winners in the past?
There never has. Not that I've heard of. I'm sure that other girls have Portuguese blood in them. But my grandma actually immigrated to the States from Shanghai, which I know is a very unique story. She went through a lot to get here, essentially. She became a British citizen. She took my family to San Francisco. And so my dad was a first-generation American, and I've actually been quizzing him on social media what it was like essentially raising an all-American girl after having a story like that.
And how did he end up in Wyoming?
So my grandma and my grandfather, who I never met, they ended up going to Montana and living in Roundup, Montana, which is a very, very, very small town. And they migrated to Billings, and my dad got into the oil field, and we got transferred to Wyoming.
Wow, that's awesome. What were his takeaways about raising an all-American girl, as you say?
I think it was just, he was a very dedicated father. He is a very dedicated father. He's watched me be able to explore so much opportunity, whether that be cheer, traveling volleyball, national competitions in sports. He just wanted me to have the perfect life, and he has sacrificed so much to make sure that he can support me in that. And as his daughter, I have so much respect for him, and it's really created this urge to make him proud and live on with his spirit, because I definitely got my willpower from him.
Would you say he's one of your biggest fans?
Yes, my dad is absolutely my biggest fan and probably the best pageant dad in the world.
Oh, yeah. What about other fans? Who else would you shout out to?
the whole state of Wyoming, there are so many women. Sarah Ming, a business owner in Cheyenne, she owns Nieces, and she's so supportive. Courtney here in Casper, she owns Confidence by Courtney and is a hair extension artist and absolutely incredibly talented. She's so supportive, and there's just so many women that support me because they know that being in pageantry, you also get served a fair share of hate just because people do stereotype you into that mold of being fake or being, all of those lovely things. And these women have really come together to support me, and it's hard to name all of them, and I'm missing many, but I'm very grateful for everyone.
Now, when this year is done, which is a ways away, probably sad to think about, but what lessons will you carry with you well into the future?
Just continuing to lead and make an impact. I think that pageantry has really inspired this urge to give back to my community and stay involved. And as a business owner, I just want to make sure that I'm continuously making an impact in this world and making a mark, because people don't remember you for how you look or anything like that. They remember you for how you made them feel. And I want to be that girl. I want to make an impact on everyone that I meet.
For young women interested in competing in the future down the road, what are 3 things that you would recommend they work on leading up to it?
In pageantry,
Mm-hmm.
I would say don't compare yourself to others. Don't get lost in the competitive edge of social media and compare yourself to a life that looks perfect. And really just be grateful for your family, express gratitude, because it really does take a village to get to a national pageant. So being grateful and leading with your heart. Be someone that chooses to actively smile at a stranger and act the part on and off duty.
Now, I want to get back to your businesses and that social initiative for the last part of this. Is there a storefront, or is it just online for people who want to check it out?
So my boutique is completely online. I actually recently did my first pop-up, so that was really exciting. We did that in Laramie, Wyoming during homecoming. So that was a very successful event. But you can find Shop Lovely on Instagram at Shop Lovely or at www.shoplovely.com. And Lee is actually my middle name, so it's Leigh. So a little play on words. And Kern Media also on Instagram, but I'm really doing referral only, so.
Gotcha. Okay. What kinds of clothes are you most interested in? Or I should say fashion, because that extends to accessories, etc.
Yes, I saw a gap when I was younger, just seeing all those trendy items that one would have to order from businesses in LA and places out of state to wear if they wanted to go out in Wyoming. You never know, or if they were traveling. And I was like, well, hey, why don't I just bring some trendy clothes to Wyoming for the girls? Because I know what they were looking for. I am in the same demographic. So I started bringing stuff that I liked to the state, and people could come to my house and pick it up, order online, and it ended up just being such a cool experience, and I really proved to myself that I can do something. And I've always been a business owner at heart, so even as a little girl, I was doing stuff. I was doing makeup for people in high school, but just trendy, fashion-forward items I wanted to bring to the state of Wyoming.
Do you think you'll keep building on that business and it'll be something you nurture, or are you thinking a new business adventure?
I put this on my Miss America bio that I just submitted last night. I am in the works of creating another business in the beauty industry. And while I love Lovely and I created it to evolve with me, I am going to be staying in the fashion world, but I think I still have a lot of work to do to create the vision that I see for it, and I'm excited to be able to dedicate more time to that after this year.
So this beauty, can you say more about what this beauty business will entail?
I am going to keep it pretty under wraps, but it is something that I've always been passionate about, and I'm just excited because I think a lot of people, there's a huge gap in the market with this product, and it's definitely something innovative and new, and it's going to be really exciting.
And in what ways do you think beauty, as far as in the beauty industry, I guess, is advantageous to, I would say, confidence and success?
The beauty industry?
Yes.
I think it depends on what companies you're looking at. I think with me, I want to be a very ethical business. I want to lead with my heart, and if I lead with passion and purpose, it's going to be something that is very safe, a safe place to build a female community and a supportive one. I think even as a social media manager, I know that social media can be a very toxic place if it's mishandled, but I'm actively trying to make a difference in that area and create a very raw, authentic, and vulnerable space, because you can find so much power in vulnerability and sharing those trials that you face as an individual, because at the end of the day, to connect, you need to relate, and that is my mission in business.
And then I guess what I'm really getting at is to kind of button up the misconceptions people do have about pageants, but even the industry of like beauty and makeup. If you were to market why it might be advantageous to a young woman to look into beauty products or be interested in them, would you say anything about taking care of one's appearance and feeling confident, and then success in the business world and in life? So this would be a consumer coming to buy products. In terms of defending, I guess, buying makeup, putting out whatever it is, and I don't know what your product is, but investing in one's appearance.
I think that it's very important to take care of yourself, and every woman has her own unique version of what that is to her. And when you're creating a product specifically for me, I just want it to be something that I know that my product is going to be for every woman, not just a specific woman. And I'm very excited about that. But with the beauty industry, you just have to be careful because you don't want to encourage anything. But if someone wants to do something because it's going to make them more confident, then they deserve to do that.
Okay, more fun questions. Who do you look up to for your style inspiration?
I definitely pull from Audrey Hepburn. I think she is a classic, timeless, elegant beauty. And Olivia Culpo, and she's more of a modern beauty. I've always looked up to her. She's just very unique and very herself, and she's found a lot of success and shared all of those vulnerable things. And I just relate to her, and she's in the pageant world. And I love her style. If you look her up on Instagram, Olivia Culpo, she's just so funny, and I love her.
Are you more glitz and glam or sweats and high pone?
I used to be so glitz and glam, but I think that was because I kind of just had this expectation put on me. And I am a Taurus. I don't know if anybody out there.
Taurus?
Oh
Yes.
my gosh, that's why I'm so comfortable with you. But I value comfort, and I've definitely switched to more of a natural glam, and I love a good ponytail.
That's what I have daughters. They say, hi, pone.
Oh,
Like, okay.
I love it.
We're more ponytail over bun people.
Yeah,
I don't know.
unless it's a messy bun, I'm not going to be doing like a formal bun. I might for like an occasion, but it's going to be a messy bun. I love being comfy.
I don't have a good messy bun. I love when I see a cute messy bun in the wild. But
Yes.
on my head, I always look like George Washington.
I totally
Fishing
get it.
for sympathy, but no.
I have naturally
Ponytail
curly
people.
hair, so I think that gives me a little bit of an advantage when I do
It's
it.
very
but
thick.
Yeah.
So that helps too.
But I get it.
Do you prefer, let me think, Thanksgiving or Halloween?
Does it have to be one of the two?
I guess if you like them equally, that's honest enough.
I would have to say Thanksgiving, because that is the time where your family chooses to actively gather, and I just love that. I love cooking and cooking meals with my family. I'm really excited to do it this year because I'm taking on a little bit more side dishes than I ever have in the past, so I think it's going to be a great holiday. But I love Christmas, personally.
Christmas. Okay, last question. What is the most exciting thing about Christmas to you?
I think that around Christmas, there's just a magic in the air of people coming together, and there's just a love amongst society. And I always love that. Even going to Walmart, you walk into Walmart and look at all the Christmas decor. It's just there's something happy and magical about it. So I love that. I love me a good Hallmark movie, and I love, again, spending time with my family.
Oh, love it.
This has been Report to Wyoming, presented in the public interest by Town Square Media.